Shadows of Deceit. Across the sea in Stormwatch, the kingdom was in turmoil. Civil unrest simmered just beneath the surface as noble houses vied for power, and the common folk grew increasingly discontented. Stormwatch was a land of rugged coasts and tempestuous seas, where the elements shaped both the landscape and the people. The capital city, Tempest Keep, stood as a bastion of human ingenuity and resilience, built on a cliff overlooking the stormy waters of the Sea of Storms. On this particular evening, a knight with a once honorable reputation found himself at the center of a betrayal that would change his life forever.
The stormy seas roared against the cliffs of Tempest Keep, a formidable fortress perched on the edge of the world. Thunder cracked overhead, illuminating the dark clouds that loomed like a harbinger of doom. I rode away from the castle, the salty wind whipping through my hair and the taste of betrayal bitter on my tongue. The weight of my armor was nothing compared to the heaviness in my heart. I had left everything behind, my home, my honor, and the woman I loved. Stormwatch was in a state of chaos. Civil unrest simmered just beneath the surface, threatening to erupt at any moment. The kingdom, known for its rugged coasts and tempestuous seas, was now teetering on the brink of collapse. The noble houses, each with their own ambitions, were embroiled in power struggles that left the common folk weary and disillusioned. The royal line of Stormwatch had been fractured ever since the untimely death of King Magnus. With no clear heir, the throne became a coveted prize for the ambitious and power-hungry. Princess Ilara, the late king's only daughter, was thrust into a perilous position. Her claim to the throne was contested by various factions, each seeking to install their own puppet ruler. Amidst this turmoil, the Regency Council took control, ruling in the absence of a clear successor. This council, made up of the most influential nobles, held sway over the kingdom's decisions. It was they who sought to quell any dissent and maintain their power. I, Kieran Thornwood, a knight once revered for my loyalty and bravery, found myself entangled in a betrayal that would change my life forever. I had served the royal family with unwavering dedication, but my loyalty was met with treachery. Trusted friends turned enemies, and the lines between ally and foe blurred. Princess Ilara had confided in me, sharing her fears about the council's true intentions. Together, we devised a plan to expose the corruption and restore order to Stormwatch. But our efforts were thwarted by a trusted advisor, Lord Valen, who had secretly aligned himself with the council's most ambitious members. One fateful night, I was summoned to a clandestine meeting, believing it to be a step towards our goal. The shadows of the Grand Hall flickered ominously as I stepped inside, my every sense on high alert. Instead, I walked into a trap. Lord Valen and his conspirators seized the opportunity to rid themselves of a threat. Kieran Thornwood, Valen's voice echoed with cold authority. You are charged with treason against the kingdom of Stormwatch. Your plans to overthrow the council and install yourself as king have been uncovered. My blood ran cold. This is madness, Valen. You know I would never betray Stormwatch. My loyalty is to the princess and the realm. Valen smirked, holding up forged letters and documents, supposedly detailing my plot against the council. Lies and deceit. The council has decided your fate. You are stripped of your titles and banished from the kingdom. Any attempt to return will result in your execution. Princess Ilara, who had been kept unaware of the meeting, discovered the betrayal too late. She burst into the chamber, her voice trembling with fury. You cannot do this. Kieran is innocent. He is loyal to Stormwatch. Valen's eyes gleamed with triumph. For the good of the realm, sacrifices must be made. Kieran's departure ensures the stability of the kingdom. Shackled and humiliated, I locked eyes with Ilara. I swear, Ilara, I will find a way to expose their treachery and return. That night, as the guards led me away to my cell, the storm outside raged with a ferocity that mirrored my resolve. I overheard them discussing their orders. They had been instructed to transport me to the farthest reaches of Stormwatch, where I would live out my days in exile. But I had no intention of accepting this fate. Using the skills honed from years of service, I waited until the guards' vigilance waned. The storm provided the perfect cover. Under the cloak of darkness, I managed to pick the lock on my cell with a hidden pin. Silently, I slipped out and navigated the labyrinthine passages of the castle, avoiding patrols and sentries. As I reached the outer walls, I encountered a lone guard, his back turned as he sought shelter from the storm. I moved swiftly, incapacitating him with a precise strike. But the commotion drew the attention of another guard, who rushed at me with a drawn sword. We clashed in a flurry of steel and sparks, the storm's fury echoing our battle. In the chaos, I managed to disarm the guard, but not before he let out a cry for help. More guards would be on their way. I had to move quickly. As I fled towards the stables, I stumbled upon a stable hand, a young boy no older than 16. Fear flashed in his eyes as he saw me, and in his panic he tried to block my path. "Out of my way!" I shouted, but the boy stood his ground, brandishing a pitchfork. In the ensuing struggle, the boy tripped and fell, striking his head on a stone trough. He lay still, blood pooling beneath him. Horror and guilt washed over me, but there was no time to mourn. I mounted an unattended horse and urged it into a gallop, fleeing into the night with the storm at my back. The boy's death would surely be blamed on me, adding another layer of falsehood to the charges against me. The journey ahead was perilous, but my resolve was unshaken. I would gather allies, uncover the truth, and return to Stormwatch. The fight for justice had only just begun.